what happened to the video about the qualifier play-in? Turns out, scheduling conflict. I was actually scheduled to go to a Riftbound pre-release for the Spiritforged set, and I did that and got home super late and couldn't really participate in the play-in until early in the morning. I played once and profited 500 gems. It went okay with the Mono White Angels deck, but I really didn't have time to get through much else. But since I went there, let's talk about Riftbound. So I want to go over my experience going to that event. So it was a Riftbound Spiritforge pre-release or pre-Rift event at a local establishment called The Forge. It was my first time actually playing the game ever. I went there, I did some research on what the cards are, how the game flow works, like some analogous things like sorceries versus instants, like the mixture of the card types, so I'm not completely caught off guard and how things work, and went in there and gave it a shot. I went 3-0 and got second place overall. And that was surprising to me, but a lot of people that were new, just like me, or hadn't played in a while, and some other folks that actually knew what they were doing too. We had really good, helpful judges there, and people to help out, and other people to ask questions back and forth. So it was a really good experience. But I want to go over what actually got me there. What cards really got me through, and felt like, oh, I made a good decision in the deck building process to include those. So let's go over them. Let's go over the top 10 of those. The order is going to be from Legend and then the higher mana cost on down to lower mana cost. We can discuss the power levels that way. So let's start with the Legend that I picked. I opened this in the pack. Void Burrower. I have it here. It'll be on the screen. Void Burrower is a red, white. What do these mean again? All right. So this is a Fury Chaos, I believe, card, and the card text reads, when you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one, then recycle the rest. So it really pays off being on the offense and keeping your runes open for post showdown or whatever showdown you're trying to do. And there were plenty of times where I did a conquer and I had to do some stuff pre-showdown and I couldn't really do the benefit. So it is optional. You don't have to do that process. But yeah, this Legend is really well supported in the deck, and there's cards that synergize with that idea, which leads into the highest mana cost of the other top 9 cards. A 5 cost Fury, and so it costs 1 Fury power to cast it. It is an action, and it costs 2 less to play from anywhere other than your hand. Well, how would you do that? Well, Rek'Sai. When you're playing something from the top, one of the top 2 cards of your deck, that is from the deck. So this would cost 3 if you cast it off of that action. So this will be post conquering, so you'd want to do that towards another battlefield to kind of clear the way. But yeah, I only ever cast it for the hard 5 full cost, and it completely swung the game and or won the game for me. So when you're opening this and the other cards, probably pick them. Next up is Rek'Sai. This is the Fury version. It is the same cost as Drag Under, 5, and then it costs 1 Fury power. Rek'Sai Swarm Queen. When I attack, you may reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one, then recycle the rest. If the played card is a unit, you may play it here. So this is like the Legend ability, but different. Everything up until if the played card is a unit is exactly the same from the Legend. The latter part where you get to play a unit to the battlefield that you conquered, that's extra. So this has proven fantastic because if you get a nice, it's even better than I was describing. It's when you attack. So when you attack with it, it can help you win the combat by pulling a creature off the top if there's one of your top 2. And that actually did win me a combat. So this, in conjunction with the Void Burrower, can help you really churn through your deck and help even bolster your attacks. It has 5 might on its own, so it's just great. Next up is Sand Shifter. A bit heavier of a cost. It also costs 5, but it requires 2 power instead of just 1 in Fury runes. So it's heavier, but the gold gear will help, and the general rune system is useful to this that you get 2 per turn. So Sand Shifter says, when you play me, kill an enemy unit with 3 or less might. And that is a lot. That is a lot of things. So unless the opponent is ready for something that boosts your might, You can just kill something, and it has 6 might on its own when it comes in, so very useful. Next up, it's Draven. So this is a Chaos champion unit, and it reads as follows. This is Draven the Vanquisher. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted. I missed that trigger so many times. When I attack or defend, you may pay a Chaos rune, so a power. If you do, give me +2 might this turn. It has 4 base might and it costs 4. So very good. Just when you want to be aggressive, you just sling this bad boy in there. I did get beat on not triggering it at the first instance of attacking. So if you swing in with this unit and you don't say that you're activating it when that trigger is available, you don't get to activate it again later. You only have the one chance. So do not pass immediately if you do want to activate this. But when you do, it is a house. And if you have any combat tricks to back it up, like another one that you'll see later, it's amazing. Next up is another champion unit, Rek'Sai. Again, Rek'Sai Breacher. This card reads, Accelerate. You may pay 1 and play a Chaos rune as an additional cost to have me into ready. So you can tap a Chaos rune and then use that Chaos rune, recycle it to use that power. So it really costs 1, but overall it's 1. And then it has Assault. It has +1 might when it's an attacker. It has a base 3, so it'll be 3/4 when it comes into attack. Friendly units played from anywhere other than a player's hand have Accelerate. So this, of course, feeds back into the legend and the champion unit. Whenever you get a creature off the top from either of those abilities, that unit will come in with Accelerate. So it could then move or do any of its actions. So very nice. Now we're dipping into some of the lower rarity things that were just very useful overall. And I have 3 of the next card. Wages of Pain. So this is this is blue. Which one is this? This is the Mind rune. So this is a 3. It doesn't cost any power, but it is a Mind card. Wages of Pain. It is a hidden spell that you can use a power of any color to hide it at a battlefield that you control. And you can play it as an action, or you can just pay the full 3 up front and use it immediately. Either way, you can deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield and play a gold gear token exhausted. So this proves useful, even though there's only so many hidden cards and there's only so many. It's not really ultimately that much of a surprise which one it is in sealed, but as long as it's there, it's just useful. And it's 3 damage to a unit at a battlefield, so it doesn't have to be at the battlefield this is hidden in. It may need to be triggered or something happening in there, I think, but it can be target anything just in case. So very useful. And on that useful front, as you just wanted to iterate this in advance, all the very good effects have been removal either in damage or outright killing. And it seems like it's an effect that is really powerful in this game in particular. And it's not common. Like you get might buffs and debuffs, but just removing a thing or straight up dealing damage to a thing is amazing. So I'm sure people have seen that before, but yes, that's what is proven to be very good in at least the Rek'Sai deck. 3 more cards to go. Bonds of Strength costs 2. No power requirement. It is a reaction, so you can play it when a chain is open, when a chain has cards in it, or even when it's empty. So very nice. And you can repeat it for 2. So it costs 2 and you can repeat it for 2. And it says give 2 friendly units each +1 might this turn. So this is very useful, and I've actually used it to blow somebody out. Where I had 2 units in a battlefield, and they moved the minion in to try to come in and conquer it. So I cast Bonds of Strength with the repeat, which means I gave my 2 friendly units each +1 twice. So they each got +2. An overall +4 might going into that battlefield, and they just scooped because that is a blowout. Very good, very flexible. Well, this is another one of those. If you open it and you're in Fury, play it. Second to last, we have Gem Jammer. So this one, I didn't 100% understand if it would be all that good or not. I'm not sure where I got the idea from, but it turned out fantastic. It is a 2 cost, 2 might unit that comes into play. When you play me, you have a unit ganking this turn. It can move from battlefield to battlefield. So Ganking is a keyword that says if your unit is not exhausted and that means you can use your move action. Normally, if your unit is at a battlefield, you can move to your base and that's it. Or if you're at your base, you can move to a battlefield and that's it. With ganking, you can move from a battlefield to the other battlefield. Especially great for units that have attack triggers, like the other ones I mentioned so far. So it's very useful, very sneaky good. And you can plan around, oh, I'm moving over here, but next turn I can try to reclaim the other one as well. Very sneaky good. And last but not least, but also somehow the most powerful at one cost, Blood Rush. So I had to read this card a few times to make sure that I wasn't using it wrong because it just seemed too good for the cost, even on the repeat effect. But everyone verified that it works this way. So Blood Rush, action, play on your turn or in showdowns. Repeat 1. So you can use it once for 1 or twice for 2. Give a unit Assault 2. You can do that twice on one. That's 2 for a +4 buff. Or 2 for a +4 buff, +2 on one, +2 on another. It's so flexible. It's so much assault. And assault stacks. So if your creature already or unit already has assault, it's just ridiculous. And this is one mini combat just in that day. And wow, this is another one of those. Absolutely play them. If you're in Chaos, there is no reason you should not be playing every copy of Blood Rush you have. It is that good. This is my first day playing the game. I know that. Always play it. Do not play it. But yeah, those were the top 10 most powerful, influential cards that I opened and chose to put into my sealed deck at this pre-release event. And I went, as I said, 3-0, went 2-0, 2-1, 2-1. And it felt like it ran pretty good. And it got great compliments on the deck build itself and how I put it together. And yeah, it was a really good experience, really good community that seemed very helpful. And yeah, I would recommend the game, especially if you're looking for a game that has a more stable power system of mana versus lands versus like runes. You always get 2 per turn, and if you're going second, you get a bonus of 1 in the first turn. So you just constantly are able to make sure you can play your things. And since the pool is the deck size is 25 and limited at a minimum instead of 40, you're definitely going to see your good things, especially if you're turning it through with a legend like Rek'Sai. So if you go out into an event and you see a Rek'Sai and some supporting cards in those colors, have fun. Use this guide. I hope it helps you out. If you have any suggestions on any other content you want to see about Riftbound, I'm all ears. Put it in the comments below. If you find this useful, leave me a like, subscribe if you want to. I'll definitely have more Riftbound content. They don't have a digital client that at least not one that I care to use. So it'll be more about in-person or card releases or set releases in the future. And that's what I'll be doing. Thank you so much. Have a good night.